grandparents own their homes. Your parents own their cars. You subscribe to your life. And the more you earn, the less you actually own. Hey, welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm glad the algorithm brought you to this one. Because what we're about to talk about affects every single person watching right now. Whether you make $30,000 a year or $300,000. This is not about budgeting better or cutting your coffee habit. This is about a quiet, deliberate shift in the entire structure of the American economy. One designed to make sure you keep working, keep paying, and keep falling behind no matter how hard you grind. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how it works, who benefits from it, and what a small number of people are doing to escape it. Stay with me through the end, because the last part of this video is going to change how you look at every dollar you spend. America used to be an ownership economy. In 1960, the homeownership rate was around 62%. By 2004, it peaked at nearly 70%. That represents millions of families building equity, paying into something they would one day fully own, whose net worth was quietly compounding even while they slept. That was the American dream, and for a long time, it was real. Today, roughly 35% of Americans rent their homes. And before you say renting is a personal choice, think about who is doing the renting now, because that has completely changed. It is not just young people or entry-level workers. It is families. It is people in their late 30s and 40s, earning solid salaries who still cannot break into ownership because the market has shifted beneath their feet. Here's the part most people do not know. Over the last decade, institutional investors, private equity firms, hedge funds, corporate landlords have been systematically buying up single-family homes across the country, not to live in them, to rent them back to you. Companies like Invitation Homes and American Homes for Rent now own hundreds of thousands of houses in America. In cities like Phoenix, Atlanta, and Charlotte, they have purchased entire neighborhoods. They show up with all-cash offers and no emotion. And they outbid regular families every single time. When a corporation owns your house and you pay rent, every dollar you send them builds their equity, not yours. You are transferring your wealth to their balance sheet, one rent check at a time. This is not renting because you want flexibility. This is renting because ownership is being priced out from underneath an entire generation. And the people doing the pricing are making billions off the result, and housing is just the beginning. You wake up and your alarm goes off on an iPhone you are financing at $30-something a month. You open Spotify, $12 a month. You check the news on a digital subscription, $20 a month. You get in a lease car, $450 a month. You get to work and log into Microsoft 365, subscription. Salesforce, subscription. Your project management tool, subscription. At the end of the day, Netflix, subscription. Hulu, subscription. HBO Max, subscription. The average American household now spends between $200 and $300 every single month on subscriptions alone. And research shows most people underestimate that number by about 40%. So if you think you are spending $150, you are probably spending closer to $260. Do that math over a decade and you're talking about life-changing money if it were being used differently. But the dollar amount is not even the real issue. The issue is the model. When you used to buy software, you paid once and it was yours. Microsoft could not reach in and shut it off. It was your property. Now you rent access to everything. The moment you stop paying, it disappears. You never owned it. You never will. This is not a side effect of technological progress. It's a deliberate business model designed to convert one-time sales into permanent recurring revenue. That compounds in their favor forever. In Silicon Valley, they call this beautiful. For the rest of America, it is quietly draining an entire generation's financial future. Here's the concept that matters most. Two people earning the exact same salary. Same city, similar lifestyle, similar jobs. But 20 years from now, one is free, the other is still working. The difference has almost nothing to do with how much they earned. It has everything to do with what they own. Person A spends $95,000, Beautiful rented apartment, leased car, every subscription service, nice vacations. They feel successful, but their balance sheet is nearly empty. Every dollar goes right back out to companies, building their own equity. Person B earns the same amount but owns a house. Building equity, holds index funds paying dividends that reinvest and compound. Maybe a small rental property generating monthly income. Their assets work for them. Around the clock, including the days they are sick, on vacation, or asleep, person B's wealth does not grow linearly. It compounds. The house appreciates. The dividends reinvest. The rental income arrives, whether they show up to work or not. Person A's lifestyle inflates alongside their income, and their net worth barely moves. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you own. The modern American economy has been restructured to keep working people in the income column, while corporations stay in the wealth column. Your rent is their asset. Your car payment is their asset. Your subscriptions are their recurring revenue, which they securitize and sell to investors. Every single bill you pay is a contribution to someone else's balance sheet. The system is engineered to make you feel prosperous while that transfer happens. A third of Americans have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. Another third have less than $50,000. Social Security pays $1,700 a month. In most American cities, that does not cover rent alone. The result is already visible. More Americans than ever are working past 65, working past 70. Not because they love it, but because they have no choice. 4 or 5 decades of renting, subscribing, and leasing left them with an income history and almost no wealth underneath it. The paycheck stopped, and there was nothing there. The people who escape this, who retire early and on their own terms, share one thing. They own productive assets. Here's the truth most financial content won't say out loud. You cannot invest your way to freedom on a subscription budget. If every marginal dollar you earn is captured by rent, leases, and debt, there is nothing left to convert into ownership. That is not a bug in the system. That is the feature. So here's the exit. First, audit every subscription you're paying for this week. Go line by line and ask one honest question. Does this help me build something I own? Or does it help someone else build something they own? Cancel what you can. Every dollar you free up is a dollar that can go toward ownership. Second, understand the difference between lifestyle inflation and asset inflation. Lifestyle inflation is when your income goes up and your spending goes up with it. New apartment, better car, more services. It feels like progress, but your net worth barely moves. Asset inflation is when your income goes up and your ownership goes up with it. Index funds, real estate, equity stakes. Same salary, completely different outcome 20 years later. Third, build an ownership mindset. The culture around you is telling you to rent your identity, to lease your status, subscribe to your image, finance your self-worth. The ownership mindset asks a different question at every financial decision. Not, can I afford the monthly payment? But, does this make me wealthier? Or does this make someone else wealthier? The moment that becomes your instinctive filter, everything changes. Your grandparents were sold a dream of ownership, and for many of them, it delivered. The system they lived in was designed, imperfectly but genuinely, to help working people become owners. The system you are living in now was designed for something different. It was designed to turn you into a permanent revenue source, to capture your income the moment it arrives and redirect it into someone else's compounding wealth, to give you access to everything and ownership of nothing. And the line that cuts through all of it is this: if you don't own assets, you are the asset. You are the product. You are the revenue stream that someone else's balance sheet is built on. You are either building your balance sheet or you are someone else's. There's no middle ground. The only way out of the access economy is ownership. And it starts with one canceled subscription, one redirected payment, one decision to ask a different question before you spend. If this hit differently than you expected, drop a comment below. I read every one. And share this with someone who is working hard and wondering why they can never get ahead. I will see you in the next one.